Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Happy Thanksgiving to you all, and it is time for my mid-season 2018-19 NFL predictions. And I understand, I get it. It's not mid-season exactly, but you know what? It's closer to mid-season than it is end of season, so we're still gonna call it mid-season. My mid-season predictions here on Sports Fan Entertainment. On your screen, you will see updated predictions and you will see old predictions. On the left are my preseason win-loss predictions for these teams, and on the right are my updated predictions. Let's start with the Patriots, 12-4 preseason, 12-4 now. No reason to update. They're still the Patriots. They're still good. To me, they're going to do a clean sweep for the rest of the season, except against the Steelers. I do think they lose against the Steelers, but I've been wrong on that game before. It wouldn't shock me if they win that game too. 12-4 or 13-3 at best for the New England Patriots. Miami Dolphins, 4-12 preseason, 8-8 now. They've been better than I thought they would be. Okay, I'll take it. But I still think they're mediocre. Ryan Tannehill only take them so far, 8-8 for the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo Bills, 5-11 preseason, 4-12 now. I told Bills fans, sorry, I know you made the playoffs last year, but you're just not very good, especially with your quarterback situation. Nathan Peterman stinks! Nathan P.U. I mean, this guy's the worst quarterback I've ever seen. I mean, honestly, people. I mean, this guy's so freaking bad. Thank God he's finally out of Buffalo, and now they're actually able to win a game, but I only see one more game for the rest of their schedule. The Bills stink. New York Jets, 6-10 preseason, 4-12 now, so I was a little high preseason, but I'm okay with my prediction in hindsight. They still could end up winning 5 or 6 to me, but man, it's just not been looking good lately. Looks like Todd Bowles has lost the locker room. Look at the AFC North. Baltimore Ravens, 8-8 preseason, 8-8 now. Man, they look like an 8-8 football team to me. Lamar Jackson has come in and he won a game, but he's going to lose games as well, and that's even if they continue to start him, which is still a question. They've had their ups, they've had their downs, but they've had way more downs lately. 8-8 to me for the Baltimore Ravens. Cincinnati Bengals, before the season, they were on my bold predictions to make the playoffs at 9-7. Now I've deemed them down to 8-8. I still think that they're decent, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be a playoff year for the Bengals. Their remaining schedule is difficult. They needed to beat Baltimore to me, and they didn't. Only 8-8 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Cleveland Browns preseason, 3-13, now 5-10-1. That is my updated prediction for the Cleveland Browns because they fired Hugh Jackson, right? This was under the assumption they were going to keep Hugh Jackson for the entire season. They fired him. Hooray! We win. Okay, we don't suck again. I mean, you still suck, but not as much, and you should win 5 games to me this season. Pittsburgh Steelers, 12-4 preseason, updated prediction, 12-3-1. Pretty damn near spot on here. The Steelers are back. My Super Bowl prediction is still alive. Barely, even though I am going to jump the ship on them momentarily. Look at the AFC South. Indianapolis Colts preseason was 7-9. Midseason is 9-7, so I was pretty close here. They caught fire quicker than I thought they would, and they could end up making the playoffs, although right now I do have them missing, to be honest, but I'm being a little biased there. Okay, next team. Houston Texans, 7-9 preseason, 11-5 now. Okay, I was off here, but I still was right about my boy Deshaun Watson. Now, I never said he was going to be a bust. He was going to be awful. What I said, he ain't no quarterback superstar. Patrick Mahomes, now that's legit. That's a quarterback superstar. I told you Deshaun Watson was going to regress to the mean. And you look at him in terms of passer rating, in terms of NFL QBR, he's at the mean, people. He's average. He's in the middle of the league, which is decent when you have a really good defense and you have DeAndre Hopkins at the helm. So the Texans are winning games. Good for them. They're 11-5, which is better than I thought they would be. But I was right on my analysis with Deshaun Watson. His ridiculous production last year was not sustainable. I told you about that. I was right on that. Wrong on the record, but I was right on that. Tennessee Titans preseason was 10-6. Now it's 9-7. Now I'm being a little biased here. But they're 5-5 right now, and I just don't know what to make of the Titans. So if you guys can let me know what my team is, I'd love to know. Because if you can tell me, tell me. Because you also need to tell me that you had them beating the Patriots, because you probably didn't have them doing that. You also need to tell me that you have them beating the Cowboys, because you probably did also have them doing that. So if you believe you know more about my team, then tell me. Because no one knows my team right now. And if you say you know my team, you're lying. No one knows the Tennessee Titans right now. I don't want to hear it. I have 9-7. That's what I have. Because you just got to throw a dart at the dartboard and see if it hits when it comes to this freaking football team in Tennessee. Next team, Jacksonville Jaguars, 10-6 preseason, 6-10 now. They stink. Blake Bortles sucks. They suck. The defense is mailing it in. It's a disaster in Jacksonville. We move on to the next division, AFC West. Denver Broncos, 7-9 preseason, 5-11 now. They're mediocre. That's what I thought. More mediocre than I thought, but mediocre. Next team, Kansas City Chiefs, 10-6 preseason. I had them in the West. Okay, so I was right in the division. Just wrong on the record a little bit, but 13-3. I knew Mahomes would be good, not as good as he is. My goodness, he's great. He's really good. So 13-3, that's the record for them, #1 seed in the AFC. LA Chargers, 97 preseason, 11-5 now, so a little better than I thought they would be. Wasn't sure how consistent they would be this season, but they've been pretty damn consistent, hopefully, right? They lost to the Broncos last week, so hopefully that doesn't start a trend, but if they continue on the same path they've been for most of the season, 11-5 is their record, but a wild card for the Chargers. And then Oakland Raiders, 5-11 preseason, and that was low preseason. 3-13 now, man. They stink. The John Gruden hire looks awful. Any other coach in the league except for like Bill Belichick, they get fired for the job that John Gruden is putting forth. This is ridiculous right now in Oakland, decimating the football team. They have to rebuild it from the ground up, looking like an expansion team right now in Oakland. It is ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Moving on to the NFC. NFC East, Dallas Cowboys, 7-9 preseason, 7-9 midseason. I ain't changing, I ain't budging. Now I have them beating the Redskins on Thanksgiving today, but I still think they lose the division to the Redskins. I still think they're mediocre. I don't think they found any answers yet. I think they're treading water, but they're still gonna lose games down the stretch. I don't like their schedule down the stretch, so 7-9 for the Dallas Cowboys to me. New York Giants, I have them 6-10 preseason, 5-11 now. Not much reason to change here. They're not very good, but they're building things. Okay, Saquon Barkley's looking good. Washington Redskins, 6-10 preseason, 9-7 now. So I was a little low on them. Okay, I should have recognized that, dude. Alex Smith wins games. That's his move, and I do think Colt McCoy is going to come in and do the same. I think there's not much of a drop-off between Alex Smith and that Jay Gruden offense to Colt McCoy in that Jay Gruden offense. Even the Redskins at 9-7 to win the NFC East. How about the next team, the Philadelphia Eagles, 10-6 preseason and 7-9 now, man. How the mighty have fallen in Philly. Okay, Rocky Balboa is down and he ain't getting up. The Eagles stink, people. Wow. I mean, Jesus, man, that New Orleans disaster was a disaster indeed. They'll still win some games, but not enough. 7-9 for the Philadelphia Eagles. NFC North, Green Bay Packers, 10-6 preseason, 8-7-1 now. They're gonna miss the playoffs, man, and it sucks. I have them losing this week in Minnesota as well. Mike McCarthy being fired at the end of the season, just a shame. This is a disaster. Not a complete disaster, but a disappointment for sure for the Packers this season. Chicago Bears, how about this? Okay, I had this, not even to the extent that it is, but I had this, right? I had the Bears 9-7, making the playoffs as a wild card, but hey, I have them now 11-5, winning the NFC North. So I wasn't 100% right, but I did say more than most that the Bears would make the playoffs. So give me credit on something. I had something this year. I had this. Give me something, please. I had this. I had close enough to it. So I'm happy with my prediction there. I knew Khalil Mack when he joined the fold, and Mr. Trubisky's always been my boy. I've always been a Mr. Trubisky boy. Now, Mahomes is better, but Trubisky versus Deshaun Watson? I'm taking Trubisky right now. Next team, Detroit Lions, 8-8 preseason, 8-8 now. I think I hit the nail right on the head here. They're going to win some games late here. They're going to beat a Mitchell Trubisky-less Bears team on Thanksgiving. Win a couple more and go 8-8 to me. Minnesota Vikings, have them going to the Super Bowl, winning it, but now only 8-7-1. Now, they could still make the playoffs, but I don't have it. They're going to have to go harder than I think they will. It's just a missed opportunity for the Vikings this season. Just unfortunate. It's kind of like when the Cardinals went 8-8 that one year, even though they were supposed to be really good. I think it's like that. All right, next division, NFC South, Atlanta Falcons, 11-5 preseason, 7-9 now midseason. The NFC is where I really blew it. I really blew things in the NFC. Jesus, you know, I thought they were good. And you still see their talent, their potential, but you know, I think the injuries have really decimated them. The injuries that they've had, and also some of their defensive players have regressed, dude. What happened to Vic Beasley? He stinks. I mean, I don't know what happened to Vic Beasley, and Desmond Trufant hasn't been quite as good, and just also injuries on the side of the field. Deion Jones and Saquon O'Neal, etc. So it's just been unfortunate for, I had Falcons and Vikings in the NFC Championship. Woof. Okay, oof. Okay, jeez, what a horrible prediction for me. Our next team, New Orleans Saints 8-8 preseason. Ouch, 14-2 midseason, man, they're really good. I thought they were going to take a step back. I thought Drew Brees was getting older. I thought they were going to take a step back. I thought they were going to miss Mark Ingram. Man, it looked good after week 1. Ain't looking good now. The Saints are pretty damn good. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 5-11 preseason, 4-12 now. I told the Bucs fans, y'all ain't good. And now, Jesus Christ, have you seen this team? They got Jameis Winston coming in, and then they got Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they're so funny because one will come in, he'll do great, and then he'll stink, and then the next one, great, stink, next one, great, stink. I've never seen anything like this. And now they're back to Jameis Winston. I mean, this is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. They suck in the most epic and fantastic of ways. Because I think they must have at least like 25 passing touchdowns this year. It just doesn't matter. It's real fascinating in Tampa Bay. All right, Carolina Panthers 8-8 preseason, 10-6 now, so a little better than I thought they would be in a playoff team. I do think they will make the playoffs this season. NFC West, Seattle Seahawks 7-9 preseason, and this was, I was admittedly low. I said in my Seahawks season preview that, you know, I have faith in Russell Wilson, and you're seeing the power of a really good franchise quarterback. He's keeping the boat afloat in Seattle, and the running game is now coming alive. So 10-6 for the Seahawks. I'm feeling really good about them. 49ers, okay, this is the biggest discrepancy. This one and the Saints, but this one I have an out. Okay, the 49ers for the season 9-7 and now 3-13. We know why. Jimmy Garoppolo went down, that's it. They were done, all right? They were finished without Jimmy Garoppolo, but I told you, this is why I had the 49ers missing the playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo, because you can't have Jimmy Garoppolo and nothing. And now you realize, oh, wait a minute, we don't have anything. Like, DeForest Buckner is good, and Solomon Thomas is getting better, and Armstead is actually improving as well, but that's it. And Baboon Foster, right, Ruben Foster, he's back to being a baboon. Right, so we don't have enough. Now they recognize that. Hopefully you get the #1 pick and you're able to improve upon that. Arizona Cardinals 5-11 preseason. I knew I was being nice. I knew it. I knew I should have killed them. Should have had them doing horribly. I knew it. I was nice to them. 2-14 now. I don't see any more wins on the schedule. I just don't see it. I think they still have to face the Rams twice and some other difficult matchups. That's it. They're done to me. 2-14. And LA Rams 11-5 preseason, 14-2. Now I knew they'd be good. Weren't sure if they'd be like 13-3, 14-2 great. No, they're 13-3 and 14-2 great. So that's the record I have for them. AFC playoffs. Chiefs, Steelers, Patriots, Texans, Wild Card, Chargers, and Tennessee Titans. So this is what it comes down to, people. Week 17. I'm calling it right now. We got Tennessee Titans versus Indianapolis Colts for the wild card. It ain't gonna be on prime time, I think, but it could be. Okay, it actually could be, because now that I look at it, I don't see any other divisions that would come down to a Sunday night football game. Maybe if the Cowboys play the Redskins on that week 17, that's the only other one where they actually may have to schedule a primetime game. So this could be a primetime game. Titans versus Colts for the damn wild card 6 seed. Now it ain't gonna mean diddly poo, because whoever wins the game is gonna have to go down to New England or up to New England and face them in Foxborough. I'm trying to pull up the week 17 schedule real quick. But right now I have the Titans winning in Nashville, and that's biased because we've seen Andrew Luck owns the Indianapolis Colts. But I've also seen recently, in the past year and a half, when the Titans really had to show up at home, they show up at home, and even in Kansas City, they got it done. So I think the Titans will be able to go that extra mile and win this game. But right now, that's fandom. Ask me again in week 17. But right now, I do believe that this matchup will be for the wild card. And right now, I do believe it would be a primetime game. I mean, look at the schedule right now. Maybe Detroit at Green Bay. Maybe that could be a primetime game. If the Vikings are able to win enough games, the Bears at the Vikings, that could be a primetime game for the potential of the NFC North there. I see that potentially, but I don't know. Right now I have the Bears being much better than the Vikings, so that doesn't even look like a statistical possibility there. And then Philly goes to Washington, so maybe Philly comes back, but really it looks like Titans versus Colts could be that week 17 game. Hopefully we would win it. Right now I have us winning it. If I'm wrong, the Colts would be in at 10-6, and they would make the playoffs at the 6th seed. But regardless, they lose to the Patriots. I'll have the Chargers upsetting the Houston Texans. And then the divisional round, whatever happens there. AFC Championship right now. I have the New England Patriots going to Kansas City and losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. So I have the Steelers losing to the Patriots. I have the Steelers beating the Patriots in the regular season, losing in the playoffs, and then also other division, I have the Chargers losing to the Chiefs. So Chiefs versus Patriots in the AFC Championship. Chiefs win that. NFC side of things, Saints number 1, Rams number 2, Bears number 3, Redskins 4, Panthers 5, Seahawks 6. I'll say the Panthers beat the Redskins. I'll say the Seahawks beat the Bears. I'll say the Bears beat the Seahawks. Okay, Bears beat the Seahawks. Bears lose to the Rams. Panthers lose to the Saints. So we have LA Rams and New Orleans Saints NFC Championship. I have the Saints winning that one. 2 #1 seeds in the Super Bowl. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. We got the New Orleans Saints. And I got the New Orleans Saints, the team that I picked to miss the damn playoffs, winning the Super Bowl by a score of who gives a crap. We'll call it when we get there. MVP Drew Brees. Let's quickly move on to the awards here. MVP Drew Brees right now. Offensive player Patrick Mahomes. Drew Brees is the MVP to me right now. And Patrick Mahomes is very close. But to me, what you do is you give Drew Brees the MVP. You give Patrick Mahomes the offensive player because Patrick Mahomes is that offensive juggernaut. Whereas Drew Brees is like the true most valuable player with his 25-to-1 interception ratio. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Whereas Mahomes has lost his team. I'll say, even though he did put up the ridiculous amount of points, 51 points, dude, he had those 5 turnovers in that game. He kind of lost in the game. How can you be an MVP when you really lost your team a game? I can't say that about Drew Brees yet, at least. So Drew Brees to me gets the edge there. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie, Saquon Barkley. Defensive Rookie, Darius Leonard. Yes, over Derwin James, Darius Leonard. Comeback Player of the Year, Andrew Luck. Coach of the Year, Matt Nagy. Coaches fired by the end of the year. I already got one of these right in Hugh Jackson. We're going to add Dirk Cutter to the list. I had him preseason. We're going to also have Todd Bowles, Vance Joseph, Mike McCarthy, and John Harbaugh. These are all coaches fired by or at the end of the year. And then with the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, I will now say that the Arizona Cardinals will select defensive tackle Quinnen Williams out of the University of Alabama. And thus ends my mid-season 2018-19 NFL predictions. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. Until next time. This has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. I will be back tomorrow or Saturday for a 2019 NFL mock draft. That is right, a mock draft live. Not live, but here on Sports Fan Entertainment. MJ, I'm out. Peace.